Now I'm going to show you how to braid a paper doll. And make sure you have 2 strings available. And I've pre-rolled 6 makigami strips. And I take 3 of my strips and I insert them into my clip. And when I insert them, I want to insert them further away from the leading edge of the clip. This distance from the leading edge of the clip to these tips are actually the length of the foot of my paper doll. So that's my foot length, and I'm going to tie a string around here just to keep this secure, so it doesn't unbraid as it dries. Just like that. I like to tie a bow so I can reuse this string. Sometimes tying a bow is a challenge, but I got it. And now I'm going to braid this. If the string will get out of my way. So I separate 2 strands on one side and 1 strand on the other, and I just braid. Well, here's a trick for getting the string out of your way. Pick up your strands and flip them and put them back in the clip. And now I can braid. I separate the strands and start braiding. It's like this. Now I'm going to braid about a third of the total length of the strips. And what this represents, it's going to represent the leg of my paper doll. So that's about a third. So I'm going to take this fellow out and set him aside. And I put in my other 3 strips. And I want the foot to be about the same size. So I'm going to stick these in about the same distance, like that. And I tie this off. Just like that. And I'm going to flip this so the string stays out of my way as I braid. Put it back in the clip. Separate my strands and begin braiding. Just like that. And I want to braid this almost exactly the same distance that I did on the first leg. I've got a little bit more to go. And I think that's close. I have my other leg right here so I can compare. And they look almost exactly the same to me. So now the next step is to put these legs in the clamp side by side. I'm going to take out the second leg and I hold these fellows close together like this, and I stick them back in the clamp. Like that. And now you'll notice that I've got 4 strands on one side and 2 on the other. So I'm going to braid in pairs. I'm going to do a 3-strand braid in pairs. Just like this. And this is going to form the body of my doll. Just like that. So here I have the body that I've braided and 2 legs. And now I need to braid the arms and the head. And I've found that it's best to bring a strand across like this. And so these 2 strands will form one arm. And I twist them just like that. So there's one arm. And now I'll use these 2 strands to form the other arm. So I just twist them And you'll notice I'm not using any more string. These strips will just pretty much stay on their own without getting into too much trouble. So now I've got two arms. Now I need a neck. I will twist these two strands. And last but not least, a head. And the way I form the head is I just tie half a square knot at the top of these two strips. Nope, it came undone. Just like that. And that'll form a little head for me. So now you can see we've got the shape of a paper doll. And I take this out of the clamp. And one of my bows came untied, so I'll fix that. But the next step is to put the doll into some sort of a pose while it dries. And it's actually quite simple to do that. Anywhere where we want a joint, we just fold. So here's a shoulder, and here's an elbow. Just like that. So I've got a shoulder and an elbow, and a wrist if I wanted to. Like that. Same thing on the other side, shoulder, elbow, and I'm not going to bother with a wrist on this side. And we can bend at the knees just by making a fold. And how about a bend at the hip by making that fold? And so we can make our model maybe sit down. We could make our model look like the thinker. So you put this hand on his chin. Any number of things can be done. I need to fold my feet up. Like that. And then this guy can be cured. And that's how we make a paper doll.